Constantly wondering what other people think? Second guessing your looks, your value, your successes in life? Needing reassurance before you take any next step? You're probably depending too much on external validation. I'm thinking of a coaching client that I once worked with. The woman came off very confident, had a successful career as a project manager, clearly very capable, very intelligent, beautiful woman inside and out, but she just did not feel that way. She was actually spending a lot of time comparing herself to other women on social media. And that resulted in her needing constant validation from her husband, validation that she was pretty, that she was valuable, that she was successful. And then it leaked into her performance at work. In meetings, she was afraid to speak up for herself. She started feeling like what she had to say wasn't important anymore. Or if a coworker mistreated her, treated her, disrespectfully, she didn't have the confidence to speak up for herself and put them in their place. So what happens when we start depending too much on external validation? Well, our confidence is totally affected by it. One minute you could be feeling on top of the world, and the next minute you're feeling as low as can be because you didn't get that compliment, that reassurance that you were looking for. If you're talking to somebody and they don't mention how cute you look, or you tell them a story about something that happened at work or, in life, and you didn't receive this big accolade about it, you feel like crap because you're depending on their compliment to make you feel good. And then if they do compliment you, you feel great. You're on top of the world. So what happens when we rely too heavily on external validation? Well, it really affects our confidence, first of all, right? If you get a compliment from somebody, amazing, you feel on top of the world. But if you get a little criticism for somebody, you feel like you're on the floor. It just wipes you out. And that just doesn't feel very good. The other way that it impacts you is you don't take action. You're afraid to step out there because you don't feel good enough. So you hold yourself back. You could be out there fulfilling goals, dreams, and passions. But because of this negative thinking, because of the lack of external validation, somebody telling you that you're great and depending on that to take the action stops you altogether. You start holding yourself back because you end up second guessing your decisions, your voice, your ideas. You stop taking risks altogether because you're waiting on that external validation to say it's okay to do so. And when you don't get it, you end up in the same spot that you were to begin with. And ultimately, you start shaping yourself around what other people are saying and doing, and not who you actually are and what you want to say and what you want to do. You end up losing your authentic self. Okay, so let's talk about how we stop the need for external validation. And the most important thing you can do, that you have the power to do in this moment, is to limit your time on social media. What is that famous saying since these apps have come around? Don't compare someone's highlight reels to your behind the scenes. And I know that has been said a million times, but it's a reminder to you that it is such a true statement, because that's exactly what it is when you're looking at Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, blah, blah, blah. You're looking at people's highlight reels. They've put a lot of effort into how they look and what their world looks like and on and on. But what's going on behind the scenes? You will never know. And you have no idea the crazy that is going on behind the scenes in a lot of situations. Being a human being, I'm sure that in the back of your head, you know that. So I'm not saying that we should cut out social media altogether, but be mindful. And I'm guilty of it myself. I come home in the evenings, I hop on, and I intend on being on for about 5 minutes, and I'm on for 45 minutes. So the key is to be mindful of how much time you're spending on social media. I would say 10 minutes is probably a healthy amount of time, because the longer you're on there, the more likely it is that you're going to start thinking the negative thoughts and comparing yourself to others and yada, yada, yada. Because our reality is not on any screen. Reality is right here, and not this seemingly perfect world that really doesn't exist. The next thing I want you to do is start making tiny decisions on your own without the input of anybody or anything else. It could be an outfit for the day, a hairstyle. It could be a hobby that you've been interested in, but you're afraid to take the first step in getting involved in. It can be anything, but the main goal of it is to do it completely independent, follow through with it, so that way you get a feel for, oh, that's something that I completely chose to do on my own without anyone's opinion, and I want you to see how that feels. Because at the end of the day, the only one who knows what's best for you, the only one who knows your style, your taste, your wants, your needs in life is you, not anybody else. So test that out. Take that first step and make the completely independent decision and follow through with it just for one day. Then you can do it again and again and again until it becomes your default. Step number 3, check the self-talk. What are we saying to ourselves from the moment we wake up in the morning to the moment we go to bed at night? Be mindful of the words that you are saying to yourself. And if you find that they are not so nice words, I want you to flip those. If you're going around thinking to yourself, I'm not attractive, I have no style, I am not successful, I'm not smart, I want you to say the opposite. I want you to say, I'm beautiful, I'm talented, I'm intelligent, I am made exactly how I was supposed to be made, I have a place in this world. And another thing that I want you to say is, instead of what did I do wrong today, what could I have done better? Scratch that. That's not getting anybody anywhere. What did I do right today? I want that to be your mantra every day. What did I do right today? And it can come down to the most minute thing, right? It can be holding the door for somebody. It can be just showing up for work. It can be anything. But once you flip that script, your vibration starts to get higher, your frequency starts to get higher. And what is the ultimate result of all of that is that your confidence starts to lift. Woohoo! That is the goal. And I'm telling you, when you do these 3 things that we just talked about, that's what will happen. Your confidence will start to boost and you'll start becoming more courageous to speak up for yourself, make decisions for yourself, right? Maybe get that promotion at work that you've been holding yourself back on because you've been afraid to totally express yourself. External validation is tempting. And, we all love a nice compliment from somebody. However, remind yourself that nothing compares to the compliments and validation that come from within yourself. If this is something that you're struggling with and you feel like you could use some help along the way, please check out my website. It's right in the description. That's where you'll find all the information on my one-on-one coaching services. And I will see you guys in the next one.